This is where our garden season begins.
Before anything goes into the ground, we build the systems and choose the seeds that will shape this year's harvest.
Today we're setting up our grow tent and creating this year's garden plan.
We learned years ago that having enough indoor space makes the entire season go smoothly. We bought our first Vivosun grow tent nearly 10 years ago when they first became available. That tent was much smaller, but held up very well for us over the years. A grow tent is a versatile and useful piece of gardening equipment for the modern homestead, and Vivosun makes affordable ones that get the job done. We've used it to start outdoor gardens, keep potted cherry tomatoes through the winter, and even as an herb drying room. A quick tip for setting up a 4x8 or larger grow tent. Get some help. It only takes a few minutes to set them up, but it can be really hard to do it alone, and you run the risk of kinking the poles if you're not careful while pulling the tent fabric over the frame. Ask a buddy or your son, and it's a cinch. This gives us room to start everything earlier and manage it all in one place.
February is the shortest month of the year, but it feels like the longest. One thing that gets me through February is planting my summer garden. This is my seed collection. I've got a lot of tried and true varieties in here. I like to sort through them, pick what I'm going to grow this year, and move them into my garden planting box. I've got some containers. I'm going to put my seeds that I'm going to grow this year in here and label them. And when the weather breaks, I'll be ready to go. These are my herbs. Let's see what we're going to grow this year. I already have a lot of perennial herbs growing, but I like to add something new every year. That'll do.
All right, go ahead.
Time for my favorite, tomatoes. As you can see, I have lots of tomato seeds. If I could, I'd grow one of every variety all over my yard. Unfortunately, I have limited space, so I have to pick and choose. I've got my tomatoes labeled by varieties, so for example, slicing tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, sauce tomatoes, beefsteaks. Helps me keep it all straight. All right, let's get some sauce tomatoes out here. Let's see. Cherries. And slicers. All right, I think that'll be enough. I'll be lucky to find room to plant all of them. My final seed selection, flowers. It's one thing I've learned over all my years of gardening. It's important to grow food that feeds your family, but it's also important to grow flowers that make you happy. We're going to try some new beans, a couple different peppers, and some new varieties of tomatoes this year also.
We don't just grow what looks interesting. We grow food that we know we are going to use in our kitchen and in our pantry. We do leave a little room to try something new, but most of what we grow are proven favorites. This is where we start our garden season. Long before the last frost and before the ground is thawed and workable, we make a plan, select our seeds, and start an indoor garden. We grow large gardens that actually produce a lot of the food that we preserve and eat. Large gardens require a lot of plants. That's why we like these grow tents. We can start a lot of seeds and have plenty of space to transplant them before the outdoor gardening season begins here in Ohio. We've found that as the season draws near, it's very beneficial to have a shelved area to continue starting seeds, and a larger area to handle transplanting and uppotting. When you start a whole tray of seedlings, you can quickly become overrun with potted transplants. Upgrading to the 4x8 tent this year is a huge win for us, and we're very excited to fill it up with this year's garden. During the long winter months, it's so nice to have a space to begin to bring our vision for this season to life. This spring we are truly blessed. We have plenty of room to plant the seeds that will blossom into an abundant harvest. The structure is in place, the seeds are chosen, and now we're ready.
Next, we'll start bringing these seeds to life. If you'd like to follow along with us during our gardening season, please make sure that you're subscribed so you can see what's coming. Thanks for watching, and God bless.